It's quite a chaotic and pathetic situation here on the Benin-Ore Expressway, precisely right in front of the University of Benin Teaching Hospital. It is a fatal mortal accident involving a trailer and a petrol tanker and a vehicle. Incidentally, a reporter with NTA Benin, At Ugbowo, lives in this vicinity, and he was one of the very first responders, as it were, to come to the scene when it happened. So I will have At Ugbowo give us a brief of exactly what happened, what he gathered, and what is leading to this situation that is on ground now. Ados, exactly what happened?
Well, when we had the explosion at home, immediately we got a call that we need to come out, that the area is not safe because there's a wild fire that is going on because of the explosion from a tanker. So I rushed out and I met some of my neighbors who were directly trying to help the driver of the truck, who they said was trying to avoid a head-on collision with another vehicle. So in the process of trying to help him out, the explosion happened and they all had to scamper for safety. And when they ran, the fire snowballed into a very terrible one that affected some of the buildings and a car stand on your right by the filling station.
Okay, so you came quite on time. What did you gather caused the accident?
Well, they said the driver that was driving an Audi overtook the truck and immediately turned, and in a bid to avoid head-on collision with other vehicles, the tanker had to divert to the opposite lane, and that was what caused the accident, because one of the legs of the articulated truck climbed the pavement that led to the vehicle tipping over.
Okay, you were here, let's say, a few minutes after it occurred, yes, and there was a fire, and I can see now that the fire service vehicle is very on ground. What would you say about their response to the accident? How come they are here and the fire still did such a havoc?
Calls were actually made to fire service, but the first response that we got was from the Nigerian Army, who came immediately to the scene. And they mobilized themselves so fast that they were trying to put out the fire, but it also overwhelmed them. They had to move out. It was then that UBTH, now fire service, now came with their truck to assist. By the time they came back, they now started. I think we need to commend the men of the Nigerian Army.
Okay, in terms of traffic flow, this incident occurred at a time that is the peak period for the morning commuting, to where people going to offices and all that. And as at the time I came here, I think the efforts of the agencies that are conducting the traffic is quite commendable, because the traffic is actually flowing. But I'm sure it's not been like this since. Was there a traffic issue?
As at the time the fire incident started, we had a long queue of vehicles stretching down to Uniben Gate. Long queue of vehicles that was on this road. It was still dark, relatively very dark. And people were now looking for alternative routes.
Somebody else would be talking to us concerning the, okay, he was at the scene. Were you at the scene when it occurred?
Yes, I was there this morning. Just a minute to 6. I went to happen. I was surprised when we hear truck just fell down. What was the problem? I said there's somebody inside. There's somebody inside. We have to rescue him. What the person we tried to?
Okay, sorry, you rescued somebody.
We tried to rescue the person, but we cannot bring it out from the truck because the truck fell upon top his hand.
Was he a driver or a passenger?
The driver of the truck. The driver of the truck. So after then, the motorboy now joined us to stop other vehicle for them not to come to this side. I think 5 minutes later, the truck now exploded. It exploded. There's nothing we can do than to call the firefighters to come around.
Okay, but there are no bystanders around the vehicle when the explosion occurred?
No. Apart from the other little truck, the other little car there, there's Audi, that they carry a bag of rice, something like that. But the driver escaped from the car.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, I'll hand you over now to another reporter who is on the scene to give us more interviews and visuals of this rather unfortunate incident.
Thank you, Phil. What we are talking about now is how the authorities concerned, we have to swing into action to ensure that the traffic moves on by removing the articulated vehicle.
Some of the victims expressed shock over the incident, which has affected their businesses.
When I was at home, when I heard a tanker fell down. So I ran out and I saw fire burning. So when I came close to my store, I saw my store burning. So it was burning to ashes.
Came out to saw fire, the thing just explodes, fire everywhere. So, but all the same, thank God, but the fire was much.
Our main concern was this filling station. That if this fire goes into this filling station, there will be more casualties, there will be a lot of disaster. So I called the area commander and I said to him, please, I want the road to be blocked from S&T Barrack so they can be using one way. I don't want no vehicles coming to this way, and I want the road to be blocked as well from Wasota. No vehicle should come through, so that we'll be able to control the incident before we can open one side of the road.
The entire span where the accident, the heat of the flame got to, I think it should be worked on. Like the bricks, the cement has lost its coherence.
In Benin, Eugenia Ndubisi, NTA News.